Lesson 10.2 is radical equations again, so having equations that have the square root symbol. This is level 3, so they get a little bit harder. We still need to make sure that we're checking for these extra solutions that we get, but when we plug them in to check, they don't work. So on this one, I am trying to get x alone. It's under a square root on both of these sides. I could add 2 over here, but that really does no good because I'm still stuck. So then I would want to go ahead and just say, well, I'm going to have to square to get rid of square root. And I'm going to have to put parentheses around this whole thing because I can't just do one part of it. So I'm going to square both sides. I am going to write this out twice because it's going to be a little trickier to FOIL. So I'm having square root of x minus 2 times itself equals, I'm not going to write out this side because we know that since this is all under the square root, that cancels. But this one was 2 different terms, one square root, one regular number. So that's just going to be the x minus 8. So if I'm going to FOIL this, I'm going to have the square root of x times the square root of x. So it's like the square root of x squared. And those things cancel each other out. So when I have a square root of x times the square root of x, that actually just gets x. Outers would be a negative 2 times square root of x. You just write that with the number in front times the square root of x. Inner is going to get that same thing, negative 2 times square root of x. And last is negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. So then when I combine my like terms in the middle, I'm just putting the negative 2 minus 2 together. I'm not changing anything else. Just like if I were to have this, I'm not going to say that's negative 4x squared. I just say that's negative 4x. Exponents don't change unless we are multiplying. Now we are just combining like terms. So that would be negative 4 square roots of x plus 4 equals x minus 8. Okay, so then I want to subtract x on both sides. And I can see that that cancels. And I'll bring down what's left. So really, I only have x in this one spot that I'm trying to get alone. So then the order of operations, it's kind of like the equation negative 4 times x plus 4 equals negative 8. I would want to subtract 4 before I divide. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to subtract the 4. That gets me negative 12. Now this is times, so I'm going to divide away the negative 4. So then the square root of x needs to equal 3. And then to make x not be square rooted, I'm going to square both sides. That cancels to leave me with x equals 3 squared is 9. Okay, to check this one, I would rather just do it by hand. So I'm plugging in 9 here. Square root of 9 is 3, minus 2 is 1 on that side. And then this side would be the square root of 9 minus 8, which is 1, and the square root of 1 is 1. So that checks out. So this is my answer. All right, let's try one more of those. So again, talk yourself through it of x is under the square root, under the radical. I cannot get it out until I square to get rid of the square root. Subtracting the 1 over does me no good. So I'm going to go ahead and just square both sides. So we're going to FOIL this since there's 2 different terms. The square and square root cancel to give me the x plus 6. This would be square root of x times square root of x, which is the square root of x squared, which is just x. That'd be a 1 square root of x. For my outers, inner is going to be a positive 1 square root of x, and 1 times 1 is still 1. Combine my middle terms, my like terms, that would be 1 plus 1 is 2 square roots of x plus 1 equals x plus 6. Again, I see that I can just subtract x on both sides and that x goes away. So now this is the one I'm solving for. I would want to subtract the 1 first. That's 5 divided by 2. So then I get square root of x equals 5 over 2. That's okay that it's a fraction. I would want to square both sides. So really both numerator and denominators get squared. 5 squared is 25. 2 squared is 4. 25 fourths should be my answer. Let's check. So I'm going to have square root of 25 divided by 4. 25 fourths. Make sure it's all under the radical. Arrow over because we want to add just a normal 1 to that. So we get 3.5. Other side, I want to have a square root of 25 fourths. Close parentheses, stay under the radical, and have the plus 6. They do equal each other, so it does work. And that's it.